Some mornings come with a weight that we can't quite explain. Maybe it's the long list of things to do, the quiet ache in our back, or the loneliness in our chest. Maybe it's a lingering worry from yesterday that greets us again with the sunrise. There's a man I once knew, a quiet soul in his 60s, who would sit on his porch every morning with a coffee in hand and tears in his eyes. Not from sorrow, always, but from the deep need to know he wasn't facing another day alone. His wife had passed 5 years earlier, his children were grown, and in the hush of dawn he would whisper, "Where will my help come from today, Lord?" This is where Psalm 121 begins, not with a sermon, but with a question. It is the cry of a soul reaching upward, not in panic, but in hope, not demanding answers, but longing for presence. There's something holy about that question. Where does my help come from? When you feel stretched thin, when no one knows what you're carrying, when you're wondering how you'll keep going. You're not the only one who's asked, and God is not silent in response. So let's walk slowly now, through the gentle path of Psalm 121. Let the words breathe. Let your soul rest. Let God meet you where you are. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Psalm 121, 1-2, NIV. In these simple lines, there's a sacred invitation to lift your eyes, to shift your gaze away from the clutter below, to remember the one who made the mountains and still sees you. This psalm doesn't tell us to muster strength from within. It reminds us that our help comes from outside of us, from the Lord, not just any Lord, but the maker of all things. The one who painted the skies, who carved the canyons, who crafted the veins in your hands and the air in your lungs. That God is your help. He is not just a distant creator. He is an ever-present helper, strong enough to make the earth, close enough to guard your next step. So gently now, breathe in this truth. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not expected to carry this day on your own. There are days when the climb feels steep, not up a literal mountain, but through daily burdens, chronic pain that never relents. The quiet fatigue of caregiving for someone you love. Grief that stirs again with every passing season. Some of us rise each morning with invisible weights. No one else sees the full picture. The anxiety behind the smile, the restlessness behind the routine, the prayers whispered in the car before the day begins. Psalm 121 meets us there. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Psalm 121:3, NIV. God's help isn't occasional. It isn't reserved for church services or crisis moments. It's steady, constant, unblinking. Even when you're weary, even when your path feels uncertain, even when you don't feel spiritual or strong, He watches over you, not out of duty, but out of love. Diane, a grandmother in Arizona, listens to Psalm 121 every morning while the kettle warms. After 40 years of marriage, her husband passed from cancer. The house felt unbearably quiet, so she began a new ritual: tea, a Bible, and a single psalm spoken aloud. "Where does my help come from?" she would whisper each morning, hands around her mug. "From the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." She told me once, "It doesn't stop the grief, but it reminds me I'm not walking through it alone. His help comes quietly, like shade on a hot day. I feel watched over, even when I feel invisible to others." The verse that steadies her most? "The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore." Psalm 121:8. There is comfort in knowing that someone eternal, sees every step, every breath, every tear, and never looks away. Lord, I come to you this morning, not with all the answers, but with a heart that longs for peace. I lift up my eyes today, from my calendar, my pain, my fears, and I choose to fix my gaze on you. You are my helper. You have been with me in seasons of joy, and you have not left me in seasons of sorrow. When I feel weak, remind me that I am held. When I feel lost, remind me that you go before me. You do not sleep. You do not slumber. You are not distracted or distant. You are near, even now. Cover my coming and going today. Shield me from what I cannot see. Steady my feet where the ground feels uncertain. May your peace go before me into every conversation, every decision, every unknown. I trust not in my strength, but in yours. Lead me gently, hold me firmly, walk beside me through this day. Amen. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. God is watching over me, right now and always. He will not let my foot slip. I am never outside of his care. The Lord is my shade, my protector, my keeper. Day and night I am covered by his presence. I walk in the confidence of his love and protection. Let these words stay close to your spirit today. Whisper. Psalm 121, 2. As you begin your morning routine, write it on a sticky note and place it near your front door. Repeat the psalm softly as you take your afternoon walk. Before sleep, lay your worries at his feet and recite the last verse aloud. You might even share a verse with someone today, a family member, a coworker, a friend going through a hard time. You don't have to preach. Just offer the reminder, my help comes from the Lord. Sometimes that quiet truth is all a soul needs to breathe again. Friend, you are not walking through this day alone. Whether your path feels smooth or steep, whether your heart feels light or heavy, God is watching over you. From sunrise to sunset, from now until forever. He is your helper, your keeper, your constant shade. So walk forward today, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. If this blessed you today, type Amen for God's help this June in the comments. Declare, I will walk in God's peace this month. And remember, you are not alone. You are deeply seen. You are eternally safe. And the one who helps you is already in your tomorrow.